course, Rodgers invoked Martin Luther King Jr., saying the great MLK said that you have a moral obligation to object to unjust rules and rules that make no sense. Here to discuss this all, CNN sports analyst Christine Brennan. Christine, what do you make of Rodgers' reaction to all this? I mean, he was the one who led everyone to believe he had been vaccinated, and now he says he's being targeted by a woke mob, which I'm not sure he even knows what woke means, if that's what he's talking about.
Exactly, Jake. I mean, this is a huge unforced error by a man who has transcended football and wants to have a career, a long lifetime in whether it's hosting Jeopardy or in other parts of our culture. What a shock. What a surprise that this is the guy we thought was so smart and well-read, and turns out that he doesn't even have the courage or the guts to say that he wasn't vaccinated, probably because he was fearful of that woke mob. And even now, given a chance to explain away his errors, he did not do it. Consider that he did not wear a mask day after day when he would meet with the media at the Packers facility or after games like he was supposed to, because he was unvaccinated, but he was trying to have the charade that he was vaccinated, apparently. Think of all the people that were potentially exposed to whatever he might have had. Maybe go home to a husband or wife, and that's, they might have immune issues. So, my goodness, what a horrible mistake by him. I think we're seeing a very different side of Aaron Rodgers, and I think we're seeing a side of Aaron Rodgers that people are really, really disgusted by.
He's talking about facing cancellation. He's not facing cancellation. I mean, talk to Colin Kaepernick about facing cancellation, but is there any kind of discipline that he might face for being so misleading?
Yes, he could be fined by the National Football League, but it's a little slap on the wrist. He could also be suspended. The odds are that it will be more the Packers that are looked at and get some kind of a fine. My guess is it'll be a fine, Jake, because the bottom line is the NFL wants Aaron Rodgers back on the field. The question, I think, moving forward is, what does the rest of America think? And, again, as I said, he was on Jeopardy. That's a double and triple vaxxed audience there. And so what he has done, I think, is irreparable damage to the kinds of things he was hoping to be, that crossover star, much different than your average old football player. But yes, he could face some punishment. I think the punishment will be much greater over his lifetime, potentially in endorsements. We'll see how it plays out. But I'm sure that a lot of people who are vaccinated and concerned about these issues are looking at him and saying, what in the world are you doing, pal? We thought you were smarter than this.
And look, when you're a public figure, there's a certain obligation you have to the public in terms of, sharing information that's accurate, not just about yourself, but in general. He spread information in that very interview. He claimed he would have better protection against COVID than from a vaccine. The CDC says that's not true. He's saying because he had COVID, that the antibodies. That has the potential to have a massive impact on his fans. I might not be a fan of the Green Bay Packers, but there are millions of them.
Well, there are. And think of the Packers fan who today has been on the fence, maybe trying to be convinced by his or her, grandchildren to get the vaccine. And now they listen to their hero, Aaron Rodgers, and they decide not to, as we head into this season of cold weather and being indoors. It is a devastating prospect, the ramifications of what this guy is doing and what he's saying. He sounds like a crackpot. Not listening to science, says he's smart, says he gets it, and then saying these things. He has a responsibility as a role model to the millions of Packer fans out there and everyone else who looks up to him, who might be taking their lead from him, Jake. And now he's saying these things. It's really, again, a surprise, a disappointment, a stunning twist in the life of a guy we thought we knew at 37, who's lived this kind of interesting, intriguing life that we kind of are interested, where's he going to go next? We never saw this one coming.
Yeah, it's a real disappointment. Christine Brennan, thanks so much. Peloton screeching to a halt as Americans get back to the world and leave their spin bikes behind. That's ahead.